A doctor was caught carving his initials in patients' livers. A man in London put up a billboard in hopes of finding a wife and avoiding an arranged marriage. And a gay sex scene at the Acropolis sparks outcry in Greece. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I have 3 strange stories from around the earth. Come on. A doctor is no longer allowed to practice after he put his initials in patients' livers. A doctor in the UK has been removed from the country's medical register for branding patients' livers with his initials. These incidents occurred years ago. The doctor's name is Simon Bramhall. He used a surgical device to write his initials on transplanted livers. It doesn't say what the surgical device was that he used, but that seems appropriate given the circumstances. You don't want a doctor spray painting on your liver, nor using a Sharpie. This is a liver, after all, a vital organ, not the side of a wall or somebody's cleavage. The initials are 1.6 inches, and they were discovered by another doctor when one of the livers that were transplanted by Bramhall failed, and this doctor had to go in, and that's when the graffiti was discovered. The doctor was like, I see the liver, and I see hieroglyphics as well. And I see some writing. It says, Simon was here, 2019? What could this be? Bramhall pleaded guilty and was convicted of 2 counts of common assault, which I question that terminology. This is not common assault. This is highly uncommon assault, to have someone draw on your liver. If someone punched you in the liver, that would be common assault. Even I would say if they tried to stab you in the liver, that would be common assault. This is major uncommon assault. I'm not even sure it's assault, really. What is this? What would you call this? This doctor needs his own doctor for his head. His penalty was not very severe. It says here he was fined about $13,000 and sentenced to community service? Really? For messing with vital organs? He's picking up trash on the beach? That doesn't seem appropriate. Now, at the time, the doctor resigned, but then years later, they asked to have his case reviewed, and his legal counsel argued that the former doctor's, quote, fitness to practice was no longer impaired, and that this case had never been about his surgical skills. Rather, it was about Mr. Bramhall's lack of respect for the dignity of the patients. The board, however, on Monday decided that although there was no lasting physical damage caused to the patients by Bramhall's actions, there was significant emotional harm because of his actions. And they decided to remove him from the medical register. This was an appropriate punishment. Gross violation of his patient's dignity and autonomy is how they categorized it, and I agree. It's also just like, it's crazy behavior, and you don't want somebody who's handling sharp objects inside your body to be crazy, in general. I mean, these guys get paid a lot of money. I mean, we all know the cost of surgeries. You can't mess around with doctors that are unstable like this. I mean, it's bad enough that these doctors are always away golfing. They're always golfing. They're never around. You're like, my surgery has to happen now. Like, well, I'm not available for another 4 months. I'm going to Pebble Beach. You're like, dude, can you just fix me? Like, no, I got a lot of golfing to do. You come after my golfing. So, knowing that, at least can we have a doctor that knows what the hell they're doing in there and they're not writing all over your pancreas? Although, you know, an autographed liver is probably worth a lot of money on eBay, I'd imagine, right, guys? Especially if it's from a very famous doctor. Like Dr. Strangelove. Well, I mean, like, what could you get for a kidney that's been autographed by Dr. Phil? Like, probably a lot of money, I'd imagine. A man took out a billboard ad in the hope of finding a wife. He urges people to save him from an arranged marriage. I'm looking at the billboard now. Yeah, it's a big photo of him laying down. He looks handsome. His name's Malik. He even put a website on there. FindMalikAwife.com. Save me from an arranged marriage. Look at this billboard. This is fabulous. Hey, sometimes you got to just take your destiny in your own hands. This young man, Malik, has been flooded with messages after his ad went viral. In the age of dating apps, a man in the United Kingdom has plastered himself on billboards recently to seek Miss Right. As the new year began, people in the streets of London and Birmingham were very amused to find these billboards. The man is lying down on a purple screen and pointing at a line that says, "Save me from an arranged marriage." They also have a link to his website on there. At one glance, it might seem like a prank or a joke. One look at the website would clear things up, though. In fact, this is an eligible bachelor's attempt to find himself his future spouse. Now, Muhammad Malik is his full name. Here's a quote from him on his website. "I just haven't found the right girl yet. It's tough out there. I had to get a billboard to get seen. My ideal partner would be a Muslim woman in her 20s who's striving to better her deen." I don't know what deen is. D-E-E-N? "I'm open to any ethnicity, but I've got a loud Punjabi family, so you'd need to keep with the Bants." He's 29 years old. He's very handsome. He's an entrepreneur, he says. With utmost honesty, Muhammad also listed what many might consider a deal breaker, as he added he is a single child and needs to take care of his parents as well. Well, this is sort of common. You know, we live in a world of single children, and we know the deal, dude. I feel bad that he's in a situation, though, where ordinarily his marriage would be arranged. That just seems like a tough place to be. It says in the Billboard, Muhammad Malik urged everyone to save him from this arranged marriage. On the website, he clarifies that he isn't against the idea of arranged marriages completely. He says, "I just want to try and find someone on my own first." He says, "I think arranged marriages have a place and a tradition in many Islamic cultures. In fact, there are many studies that have shown arranged marriages have many advantages." But he just wants to try something else before he does that, and I don't blame the guy. I mean, you want to have some control over your life, don't you? I mean, a life partner is not something you just get assigned, it seems to me. But then again, this is coming from my own cultural filter, where that's just not anything I'm very accustomed to or familiar with. So they do say that there are many cases where arranged marriages are actually more successful than the way we're doing it here, which is, well, the data shows that half of normal marriages end anyways. So are you really rolling the dice that much with an arranged marriage? I don't know. Maybe you guys have some experience or opinions on this. You can call the show 646-450-2012. If you're in the London area and you're looking for a man he seems to be successful. He's not bad looking at all. Seems like a lovely man. There's a video of him, sort of talking to the camera. Seems like he has a nice personality. His website includes the introduction along with a Google form accepting submissions from those that are interested for this match. So, what's the website again? FindMalikAwife.com. Hey, this is probably money well spent, I'd imagine. Look, you got to invest in your future. This is him investing in himself. This is fabulous. I love this. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Gay sex scenes on the Acropolis sparks an outcry in Athens. Greek officials said this week they're going to track the people behind the filming of a gay sex scene on Athens' Acropolis, the country's most important archaeological site, after footage of this pornographic scene emerged online. A culture ministry spokesperson told the media that they had launched an investigation into this video, which shows an explicit sexual encounter between two masked men at the UNESCO-listed site. They wanted to find as soon as possible those responsible for this illegal pornographic shoot at a very important site. The anonymous producers of the short film, called The Parthenon, said the Parthenon symbolized nationalism, the cult of antiquity, and patriarchy. They described the erotic scene between the two men at the site as a political act. But a statement on Friday from the culture ministry said, quote, the archaeological site of the Acropolis does not lend itself to activism or any other action that offends or shows a lack of respect to this monument. The 36-minute film was first shown to a small audience in December at the University of Thessaloniki in the north of the country without provoking any outcry whatsoever. It was its appearance online on Friday that sparked this backlash by the country as a whole. The president of the Greek Actors Association, Spiros Bibelas, told the media, "As a Greek, I am ashamed. You can't do anything and everything in the name of activism. What do you think this is?" Now, the union representing those guarding the country's museums and archaeological sites expressed its outrage and shame over what they called a very vile film. Heading off questions regarding the level of surveillance at these sites, it said they suffered staffing problems because the finance ministry almost never approves the recruitment of guards. As you can imagine, well, you know, this country has been suffering financially for quite some time. I'd imagine these sites aren't well guarded, and the upkeep is probably a little lax these days. Sadly, these are very important sites in the history of the world. I would love to go visit these places. But, you know, when you don't take proper care of them and you don't guard them appropriately, you're going to have instances like this. I'm not trying to blame them for the Acropolis porn that was shot. I also question this sort of activism. This seems like a very strange approach to activism. Hey, we're against the patriarchy. What should we do? I don't know. You want to have sex at a sort of a historical landmark? Yes, but we should have gay sex at a historical landmark. Oh, good idea. I didn't think of that. Let's have gay sex at a historical landmark. That'll show everybody that we mean business. We want to take down the patriarchy. And we're against nationalism. We're gonna shoot a gay sex scene to show everyone that we're against nationalism. I mean, I would never put that together myself. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the video. Did they put a sign up as well? Are they having sex in front of a "Down with the Patriarchy" sign? Oh, there's something about two men having sex as a message against the patriarchy that just doesn't seem appropriate in any way. Two lesbians, sure. I understand that. Two lesbians going at it, saying "down with the patriarchy." Great. In other words, they're saying, hey, look at that. We don't need men to have a good time. Down with the patriarchy. But to show two men having fun, down with the patriarchy? I don't know. Maybe I'm misguided. Can anyone straighten me out with this? This just seems like a strange approach to activism. I mean, I never had the idea to go to an anti-Trump rally with my friend Barry and just make out. I just wouldn't think that would do the job. Maybe I need to get more progressive with my activism ideas. Well, hello there, children. Hey, little kiddos. Thanks for listening to this entire episode all the way to the outro. You get a cookie. What's your cookie? Oh, you get to listen to me talk for like a few more minutes. Pretty cool, right? Not if you're annoyed by my voice. I apologize. I didn't do any accents today, although a couple of the stories were from the UK, and I just wasn't feeling it. Tomorrow I'll do some accents. How about that? I got some nice messages from peeps on Instagram. We have, who's this individual? This is Ashley from Saranac Lake, New York. Sounds like a lovely place. It's near Lake Placid, apparently. Ashley wrote, I LOL'd this morning, half awake, at the Star Wars tampon comment. Ha 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 ha. Thanks, Jonesy. Because I made a lightsaber noise when you put the tampon in and take it out. Do you remember that? If you guys didn't listen to yesterday's show, that's gonna go over your head, unfortunately. I also got a message on Instagram from Karen from Scotland, who sent me an overdue Happy New Year message. She said, "Keep up the great work, entertaining us, and hope 2022 is good to you." Oh, thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate that. So far, 2022 is not good for me, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I also got a comment on YouTube by Barbara Birch. She says, "I'm one of your biggest fans from Florida. Glad to see you on YouTube, Jonesy, so now I can send you some comments." Yeah, you sure can. I'm on the YouTube. Thank you so much, Barbara from Florida. Yeah, we got some nice Floridians out there that love the show, that don't take it personally when I totally slam their state. I love that. That shows that you're reasonable human beings. And it actually makes me want to visit at some point. Barbara, if I ever come to Florida, you have to show me around. wear a hazmat suit, of course, and and a cup. For sure, I'm wearing a cup. I don't need to get stabbed in the cojones with a needle or bit by an alligator. And one last shout out on the Instagram. I got a message from. We have Lewis and Tony. They're from Newcastle, which is in England. They say they're big fans. It's a father-son, big fan situation. I'm super thrilled. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me on the various platforms. This is why I'm there. And I respond, especially Instagram, because I'm always on Instagram all day, every day. So if you want to say hi on the gram, I'll usually respond, unless it goes to my spam other mailbox. Sometimes I miss out on that. But yeah, I appreciate all the feedback. It makes me feel lovely inside, and it shows that you guys give a damn, and that what I'm doing is sort of being, partially well received, which keeps me going. Yeah, you need motivation if you're going to sit in a closet every day for an hour or two. You need some motivation. You need exterior motives. You know what I'm saying, guys? Anyways, I love you all, and I appreciate the support. You can always reach out. My email as well is funnyjones@gmail.com. It's a place you can send links as well if you got stories you think I should cover because you came across them and you believe that they're weird and or funny. Please make them recent if you can. And lastly, I have a Patreon, which is what I use to keep the bills paid. It doesn't pay hardly any of the bills, but some of them. And I have a new patron that I want to give some love to. And that individual is Eli Lizard. I don't know if this is a real name. Sounds like a superhero, right? Eli Lizard? Did I get this? Am I saying this right? Is it Ellie? Ellie Lizard? It could be Ellie Lizard, for all I know. I don't know. It's a cool name, though. Sounds like a superhero. Or a villain. Could be a villain. Anyways, thank you for joining, Ellie Lizard. Appreciate you very, very much. And please enjoy the extra content that's in the Patreon. I'm going to put a couple videos in there this afternoon, as a matter of fact. It's just some cool, weird stuff I came across last night when I was sick in bed watching YouTube videos. And still can't really leave my house so much. Yeah, we're fighting situations over here. But hey, it's all going to be fine. Just get it out of the way. We'll be good next week. Well, at least I have you people to keep me confident, keep my spirits up. Appreciate that very much. Big shout out once again to Eli Lizard, whatever the heck it is. Your name's going on the wall, Eli Lizard. Please tell me where you're from. And just know that I'm so grateful that you've stepped up your show of support by joining the Patreon. It means so much, and I hope you get this shout out, and I hope you know that I love you, and I really appreciate you. You guys can join the Patreon like Eli Lizard by going to patreon.com/weirdafnews or downloading the Patreon app and doing a search for Weird AF News, or by going to weirdafnews.com, the official website, and clicking on the Patreon banner. All right, now, you kids be good. Behave yourselves. Say no to drugs.